company is Black Series Edition LLC with Crystal Edge Technology screens. A long time ago, I used to make gray screen paints under a company called Digital1crystal screen paints. And how good was it? It was good enough to get a 10-year global contract and basically beta testers, the whole 9 yards, everything. So when I first started out with gray paints. So I got quite a history in making gray screen paint products. As a matter of fact, my products that I had back then were basically doing better than the gray screen paint products we have today. So this is me right here. I can get up to the computer, go back to the very beginning, and start the video. I'm going to pause here and go in and bring my music down, and then bring the volume up on this video over here. All right, here we go.
Paint any color wall. Now, darkest color can get for your wall. Hello, my name is Ken. I'm the designer of Digital1crystal screen paint. In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you exactly how you can paint any color wall. Now, darkest color can get for your wall is yes, black. What you're seeing right here is, sorry about that, a bit of cold. The part of the wall is painted black, so you guys can see. Now we're going to clean our screen on the middle, and we're going to do it in an hour or less. And
now the reason why I'm doing this demonstration was saying paint a screen in 1 hour or less. At that particular time in that era, basically the biggest gripe you had was being able to paint your screen to any color wall you wanted without priming and sanding. And that was something that was required for gray screens back then, that they had to go through a lot of priming, a lot of sanding, pretty much mimicking the same thing that Goose Screen used to do. Everybody was following behind Goose Screen. As I said before, Goose Screen at that particular time was the black diamond of gray projection screens. And one of the things people did at form sites is they did a lot of sanding and a lot of multiple applications, because this is what Goose Screen required for their products. We came in and did a demonstration. This was my old company. We did a demonstration under, oh man, where's that? A demonstration under Digital1crystal screen paint, HD paint, 1 hour or less, showing that you could paint it, the product, in 1 hour or less. So yes, I do have experience in this field, or I should, because that's where I started from. And I do, at the end of the day, like I said, we're not going to make this product anymore, because again, it's an obsolete product. We've had it, it's like almost it's a 10-year product, a 10-year-old product. Probably much older than that, because when I got in the business, it was like 5 years that I got into the business. So right here, you'll see our old advertising we had there, and you'll see the date where it says 10 years ago. That's how old gray screen paint products are. Now at that particular time, as I told you, we didn't have tones. We had either white and black paint, and sometimes you put a little glitter into it or some silver already put into it, and then you would get the gray screen paint product. So we are basically going to do 2.0 was a little different. The 2.0 was tested. It was a lot different than what I'm going to be showing you today. So the reason why we're giving it away for free, because the stuff we made back then without the enhancements we have now pretty much is just free. Because again, it's going to match the tones. I'm going to tell you that right from the door. It'll match tones. It's not going to pull contrast level all that great. Colors are basically not going to pick up all that well. And on top of that, you're definitely not picking up any contrast level on any level whatsoever. So those who make great products, you know, if you feel that your product is better than the free, then all you would have to do is just do a side-by-side demonstration on YouTube proving that your product is better. Mind you, I went through this when someone tried to make our products. We don't want to mention their names because I don't have time to deal with it. But yeah, we gave them the permission to make the products, and they failed miserably. One just could not seem to get the color to go black. He just kept messing up, so we came in and did it ourselves. And then later on, they tried again with some newer product, which we beat the living daylights out of. So you're going to have to be to show the difference, a big difference between your product and, again, what we have. And since I do have an extensive experience in gray screen paint products, I'm pretty much know exactly how most of them are actually made. All right, let me put in the screen paint on right now. So what we're going to do is we have one already made out of the Digital One collection. I do want to design a label for it. I want to do a label for it. You can have them print the label though. I'm doing a label for me, but I do want to put the ingredients. So the ingredients is pretty simple. I mean, like I said, you can go with the tones. If you want to do it from scratch, white paint and two 1/4 cups of black. That's pretty much it. 2 to 3. That's all you would have to put in to measure how dark you want it for shading. It's 2 to 3. That's basically it. Because there's no point. The only reason why we sold the 2.0 because the 2.0 had upgrades attached to it. And if you saw on the video, as a matter of fact, the test demonstrations for the 2.0 are basically a challenge to any gray screen painter. No one's been able to match a 2.0's test match. That well, actually the test demonstrations they have been able to match. It's actually on the website, and it's put down as a challenge to any gray screen paint to try to match a 2.0 test, and they have not been able to do it. So we already know for the door. This is a little different. This is not a 2.0. This is basically a basic screen paint. Some of the basic screen paints we used to make back in the day, before all these tones came out, before the products came out. These were our products that we made. So what we're going to do is give you a free ingredients from one of the Digital One collections. Like I said, it's not going to have any special modifications like the 2.0 had. It is basically going to match tones. All of them do it. All the screen. If anyone ever tells you that the screen paint doesn't match a tone, they're a liar. It does match a tone. You have to be able to beat the tones. Yeah, like for us, that black mist sitting behind me, that screen paint had to be able to beat black fabric and black paint, and it did it with no problem whatsoever. So that's what you're gonna have to show. Sevens, way back in the day we used to make sevens, they got demonstrations showing them beating black paint. So this is something you're gonna have to be able to do, but again, that's your own personal battle. For people who make those paints, for the customers, this is free. So if anybody wants to get up there and say, hey, at the end of the day, my product, then if you want to say your product is better, then you have to back it up. You're going to have to show that your product is better. You can't just talk trash. You have to back it up. As for the customers, well, they got a free product. And keep in mind, this product can't be tampered with. It means they can't put anything in it because you will have the ingredients yourself. So there's nothing they can do. All right, so that's me painting it to the surface right there. Now, if they're going to basically talk about my experience in gray paints, it goes way back farther than you guys could ever imagine. Come on, I was contracted. I was contracted, and my stuff was actually displayed overseas. You guys were not on that level, anywhere near it. You look up Digital1crystal screen paint, there's tons of beta testers that were attached to that product. So it actually has more weight. It has all the demonstrations we did at that particular time, and people are now copying us and trying to do the same thing. Drywall, we've done that already. Invisible technology, we've done that already. We go back to the D5Ks, D6Ks, the screen, gunmetal technology we're developing way back then. We're way ahead of everybody else. This is one of the other demonstrations, and like I said right here, for our proof of time right here, that was 10 years ago. 10 years. That shows you how old the paint is. Gray paints are. Now the reason why they're not going to make this product and put it in their videos, I tell you why, because they don't want to match it. They do not want to match it. So again, it's a win-win for everybody, because again, we give you something free. Customers have a free product now they can make, and for people who are making products that are untested, well, you're either going to go against this stuff or you're just going to have to forfeit, because customers now have another option. Well, I figured the retaliation would be they would try to make our screen paints on camera claim they made it. Oh wait, we did that one already, didn't we? Yeah, okay, moving on next. We literally did that one already. So how many do I have in my collection on the digital one? 27. There's 27 screen paints made under digital on one crystal screen paint. This is the first one we ever made. Now, for them to say, well, it's about the no. At that particular time, 4K projectors weren't there. If they were extremely expensive. The best projectors they had back then were 1080p. That's the best projectors they had at that particular time. That's why I told you at the end of the day, all they're doing is just taking a great product like this and they're introducing it to a newer projector. That's all. Because the reason why is because if you look at everybody else's demonstrations, they don't look exactly like theirs. Theirs are completely different because they're using a higher grade projector to try to produce a better image, to try to give off the fact that they're actually producing it. The paint's doing it. The paint's not doing it. The projector's doing the work. And that demonstration, that was a 720p, 2000 lumen NEC. So I'm going to put the ingredients down below. Ingredients is pretty much basically simple. Doesn't require tones, because tones are really easy to do. This is basically white paint, you BEHR 1050, which I would probably go with. This is a better, thicker base to it. And basically 1 to 3 scoops of 1/4 cup of black paint. That's all you need, that's it. Now you decide you want to put a little silver in that, then if you're going to do silver, you got to do half and half. You pour a couple of teaspoons of silver, you will never see it. It'll never show up. Glitter got a better chance of showing up than the silver does. You got to do something called half and half. There's so many combinations that we did. We make gray screen paint. One of the other combinations we would actually make the paint. We would pour out half of it and put half silver in it, and then put the high glitter into it. There's so many combinations. Reversals, which means you would start off with the paint being black first and then add white to it in order to get darker grays. But now today you don't have to do that because they literally make it in a darker gray just like that. Like Bullseye Primer actually makes it in dark gray. Order at Max from the door. These are all Digital1crystal screen paints. These are all out between 10 to 11 years back. I've never done that. Lights on demonstration. It wasn't called ambient light rejection. Ambient light rejection technology didn't exist. At this particular time, look how far back. The Xbox 360 with Gears of War, that tells you how far back it is. If you had this much light in an environment on a gray screen, this was considered to be outstanding because at that particular time, majority of all demonstrations were in these really dark environments. So crazy demonstrations, we've been doing these for years. Actually, we encoded the entire lamp with the gray screen paint and watch Gears of War while the lamp was on. I thought it'd be like an impact to basically paint a lamp, stick it in front of the screen. So yeah, we started all that stuff, sticking screens and lamps and all that stuff against the screen. Now when I look at this technology now compared to what we have now, this stuff is completely washed out, but at that particular time, it was considered to be a good thing. Not that it was washed out. That was the best black you were going to be able to get at that particular time. There were no other such things as the gunmetal screens didn't exist. Well, they did exist. I never saw them, but I've never seen a gunmetal at that time. Now you see that grayish look to it? This is what I see when I watch gray screen paints try to produce contrast levels in fully lit environments. That same tone we see here, that's what we see there. Again, I used to make great products, so I know all this stuff. But judging what I've seen when we let people make our products, our black technology, they don't even know what they're doing. They literally messed up so many times it wasn't even, that's why we made it for them. It was just sad to watch. The ingredients that they had on the table, it's not what you design black technology with. It wouldn't work. Silver, oh my goodness, are you crazy? And you add water to it, you know what you just did? You expanded the level of more silver. You add that into black, it comes out dark gray. That's why your products kept coming, the rollers kept coming up gray. Now the reason why they dropped the silver, because in their mind, they think if I put silver or any kind of white paint, that is going to affect white levels. No, you're so far off on that, it's not even funny. Not even in the ballpark, nowhere near it. What you're doing is causing an imbalance to trigger. That's what you're doing. If you put too much white paint into it, it turns gray. It doesn't take much to turn it gray. Then that means your 100% contrast levels have been eliminated. Your white levels are still going to be extremely dirty. But I know that's how they think. They think if they put a little silver or white into it, this is going to affect white. This is going to cause white levels. No. You're so far off. Like I say, it's not even funny how far off you are on that one. No, it don't work that way. This right here is non-peeling surface that we developed 10 years ago. Oh, it looks nice to go back to some of these demonstrations. I haven't washed these in so long. This is when I was in a little tiny rented room making gray screen paint products. I saw this over at Home Depot and decided to basically make our own pre-coated screens. Ensure that they don't crack or peel. Because the biggest thing they had back then was motorized projection screens. People were so skeptical about painting a motorized projection screen that they thought they would damage the screen. So having a screen automatically on a roll like this, because I didn't have the money for it motorized, and rolling it up, showing it doesn't crackle. And one of the things I did on camera, I would take my hand, I would ball it up, and then basically smooth it out so you see that it wouldn't crack or peel. See, we did demonstrations that today, they don't even do at all, period. Been there, done it already. Now see me balling it up with my hand? There we go. And smoothing it out to show that there's no cracks at all in the screen. And one of the biggest fear people had if you did a motorized projection screen, is it going to stick, it's going to crack, it's going to peel, what's going to happen? That's in the future right there. It's definitely in the future. Let's see, Digital1crystal screen paint drywall. People doing gray paints on drywall. We did it already. We did it 10 years ago. Right there. Digital1crystal screen paint drywall demonstration 10 years ago. You're late. Been there and done it already. So we see people saying you could paint on drywall. No duh, Sherlock. We knew that 10 years ago you could do that one. We did it already. Because the reason why is because, like I said, the whole thing around Goose Screen. When Goose Screen came out, yes, it had to be painted to a wall only. You weren't doing motorized projection screens, you weren't doing fixed screen screens. It was walls only. And you go to ABS forms, they were just formed after form after form. Or sanding your wall down to it was perfectly flat, so you had no imperfections on it because the Goose Screen products had a bit of a thin texture to it. And if you had any imperfections on the wall, this would show up on the screen. So people spent a lot of time sanding down these walls to make them look nice and smooth for the application. So we basically did a demonstration on a piece of drywall. There was no primer. The drywall had rough edges and everything on it. Painted it on in no time at all. Pulled up a nice image. See the rollers? Even copied the rollers down to a T. Copied everything we did. That's why when I watch y'all demonstrations, people make great paints. Not all of them. Just two particular ones we watch. And we notice you have copied all our demonstrations from 8 to 10 years back. You have been copying our work. Well, since you like to copy work, I got no problem with that. At the end of the day, maybe you like to go against the free Digital 1 crystal screen, gray mix. See, I just covered right over the hole right there. Now in ABS forms, they were in there puttying the walls and sanding. Yeah, because the formula was thin, that's why. But a BEHR 1050, on the other hand, is a little more thicker. It'll fill in the holes like there's no problem. That's the problem that Danny's paint is going to have, because Danny paint is very, very thin. So any imperfections, anything you have is going to pull right through the screen. You're going to have to sand that surface down so it's nice and smooth, and then you're going to have to prime it, and then you're going to have to apply the product to it. That's why it's a bad idea to make them real thin. I know all this stuff. I've done this stuff dozens and dozens of times. So there we are, rolling the screen. I can go through the whole video right there. See, let's go finish it up right here. This is round where, what's it, Max Payne 3? What was it? I think it was Max Payne 3 came out. Oh look, that's my BenQ MS500. That's at 720p. See the crystals in there? That's how we got the name, Digital1 crystal screen paint. And at that time, everybody wanted crystals in their product. Everybody wanted. Lights on. So we know all y'all tricks, everything. But the good thing about it is customers not gonna free paint. And if the if any of the naysayers out there, you want to challenge it, you can make it. You can't tamper with it because everybody has the ingredients, so you can't mess with it. They'll know. So chances are they're probably just going to ignore it and say, hey, it doesn't have our quality. Don't say that, back it up. Don't sit there and say it doesn't have our quality. Back it up. Let's see. Oh, this was a 3D screen paint. I remember this stuff we made. A 3D hologram screen paint 10 years ago. They were making all kinds of crazy stuff back then because, again, we were under contract. We had this contract with this company overseas, and they always wanted to see something new and exciting, and we're just making some crazy stuff. And this is a 3D kind of heavy crystallized screen paint we made. All right, let me see. What are we going back to over here? More demonstrations. That's another one I did. Kids Proof. We had a Kids Proof screen paint back in the day. That was 10 years ago. 100% Kids Proof screen paint. Yep. So if anybody comes up with that idea and say, hey, no, we did it already. We did it 10 years ago. Been there and done it already. What else we got here? Oh man, this is a canvas stretch screen. If any said about making a screen out of canvas, yeah, they done that one to death back then. That's another one. That's 9 years ago. My canvas screen. This is my canvas screen I designed with the digital, with the PS4 when they first came out. I had my PS4, and this is wow, PS4 is that old? Oh, I gotta upgrade soon. All right, and that's about 9 years ago. Because people are asking me, okay, so you got blue screen out, and they're talking about you have to paint the screen to a wall. What else can you paint this to? We did a canvas screen. You can paint it to canvas if you want. And the LED lights around it and everything. Oh, man. Outdoor screen paints. Yeah, we had that too, right there. Digital1 crystal screen paint, outdoor screen paint test, 10 years ago. You guys are super late. All the stuff that you're doing has been done already. Just stuff we have now. You have now introduced to 2 new projectors. That's all. Short throw. We did a short throw demonstration here for this screen right here. This is when you're allowed to have picture shows on YouTube. Not anymore. You don't. That's the Digital1 2.0. That's the one that has upgrade technology in it. That's the one that basically we could beat out. We would knock out how many? I think we did Oh, I think it was no, it was 16. I think it might have been 16 certified screens. That NOS technology can knock out a certified. No gray screen paint can do that. It can be done in fully lit environments. No gray screen paint can do that at all, period. And this contrast levels had that contrast shifting technology. It pulled up a nice dark, not 1% black, but it pulled up a black level, a nice black level. This is a demonstration. There's an elite screen right there. That's an elite screen Dark Star 9 right there. And that's the personal mix against that product. And look at how well lit the environment looks. No dark environments, none of that nonsense. That product right now to this day hasn't been matched yet. We're still waiting for someone to try to challenge it. But the one we're going to give you doesn't have any of these enhancements. Alright, so are we in this video about that much? Okay, I'm going to go in and basically start working on, I'm not doing labels. I'm doing a label for us. There's no point doing a label. What's the point? This just doesn't make any sense anyway, because that means I would have to generate labels. I'm not generating labels. And on top of that, the reason why we're not putting anything high grade into it, because it means we have to sell it. And I'm not selling great paint. I'm not doing it. We did it already before. We've been there, done it. I'm not doing it. We're just going to give you the Digital1crystal screen paint recipe for free. That will match any of his products. Frankenstein? No, we couldn't call it Frankenstein. I'm sorry, that's copyrighted. You don't even have the rights to that one right there. Don't even call it that. That one, it's not going to match because that's darker. So he would have to make all his products dark like the other one did because he wanted to avoid the tones. He turned all his products dark. But it still has issues with it. There's a lot of issues with that product. But anyway, let's get back to this. The new Digital One Crystal Gray. Yeah, so basically with that one, that would match this product, no problem. So let me show you what we got here. I actually would do better than his product because it's a little darker. So this is what we use to make the product. Same thing they make with Digital1crystal screen paint, multi-purpose, but I wouldn't go with this. I would go with a quart of BEHR 1050. This is what you need to measure your paint. If you're doing a quart, you're only going to need one of these. One or two of these. One to three. I said 1 to 3. Now, if you're making a gallon, remember, whatever you put into the quart, you have to multiply that. So you're going to do 1/4. That's what you're going to do a black. This is going to be your white. And this right here on the side, this is ours, what we made. This right here has on the back, I have my ingredients on the back, it's 3 1/4. That's it. And that's the color you're going to get. That's 3. So I wouldn't go past 3. If you want it lighter, you put in 1. You want it a little bit mid, you put in 2. And the darkest, you go with 3. And that's it. That's all it takes. So we're going to be able to put the ingredients up for free. I'll write everything down. And the reason why I showed a piece of my history was because, again, we get the naysayers become like, he doesn't know anything. Don't say that. Don't embarrass yourself that way. I was here long before any of you were on YouTube. You look at my video count compared to yours. I've been here way longer than you have. So I exactly know what I'm talking about. You'll find more tests under my Digital1crystal screen paint than their products combined. I guarantee you that, bar none. On so many different levels. We have so many different versions of the Digital1crystal screen paint. Here we go. At the time, gentlemen, when you were basically trying to make paint now, I made that paint 10 to 8 years back, or 8 to 10 years back, and my product was contracted. Yours is not. To this day, the same great products you make now don't even have any contracts. Myself will have contracts attached to it. That's my product right there. This is the overseas company that came over here to the US to sign me to a 10-year global contract. That's how good my product was. So if we give away the Digital1crystal screen paint product for free, that shows you the level on how good our product is compared to the screen paints are out here now. and they never hit this level. We hit this plateau 8 years ago. They saw our technology from their country, came over and had a conversation with me, and we went out and we talked a little bit here and there, and next you know they came back with a contract. So this is my product here. This is my product there. This is the new logo that they designed, Digital1crystal screen paint. There's my screen there. There's my screen also there too. That's at one of their houses. This is a contract was being set up for a school. They have white screens in there, can convert to our products. There's another demonstration right there. That is one of the CEOs that was involved with the company on their end, on their side. Now see how washed out the screen is here? But like I said, this is what gray screen paints did back then. This was called normal back then because again, there was nothing else more advanced. Now today, with all the gunmetal and high technology, ambient light rejection tech, all that stuff, there's no way in the world a screen should ever do this. There's no way in the world a screen should be trapped in the dark either, but yet they are. All right, let's go over here and let's get another demonstration. Let's go over here. And we even had our beta testers. One of our beta testers was Tom Moncrief. I think it was Tom Moncrief. And the other one who was from, he was actually stationed over in Japan. He used to send me over some pretty cool stuff. There's our beta tester right there for Digital One. David Harbin, I think it's Harbin. He was another beta tester for us who did demonstrations for us. So keep in mind, whoopsie, all you haters out there that have been hating on my products, guess what? Here's a news flash for you. It's gonna blow your mind. That stuff you have sitting on your wall, I made it before anyone else did. We were here first. Everything you have right now, I can make. And the reason why I can make it, because we did it so many times, it's not even funny. We were contracted. We were that good, our product was contracted. So all they did was copy our work. Yep. Went back and copied our work. That's why anytime if I put a product out for free, I guarantee they won't do a side-by-side demonstration because they're scared it's going to match. Just like when I sat there and pulled out that container of paint with that network grade 773, and I said it's going to match. What did it do? It matched, didn't it? Okay, there you go. Yeah, we've been here way longer. So the people at the end of the day that you're cursing out, you're mad at, are the very same people that are responsible for the product you have sitting on your wall right now. I can reverse engineer all that stuff with no problem whatsoever. We've done it already. On so many levels, we've actually designed that stuff. Oh, there's my screen again right there. This is a big, huge conference they had out there for what do you call it? For investors. Because it was unheard of for a screen to be in a fully lit environment at that particular time. Now today, with the technology we have today, you should never be sitting in a dark environment. There is, this is Moncrief? Tom Moncrief, yeah. Tim Moncrief, it's Tim, I got it, it's Tim. He did a projection screen for us outside. He made it out of PVC, set it up. He was one of the beta testers. This was called the Digital One Sky Blue 3.7. See this right here? These are the investors. This is the party they had. Champagne, gift bags, the whole 9 yards. Now their job is basically to advertise our products, have shows and stuff like that. This is the contract that I'm about to sign pretty soon. In that contract, same scenario. Advertise our product, get our product out there, get us linked to all different forms of companies. That's where we're hitting at. So if we give you a product like Digital1crystal screen paint for free, I guarantee you that, well, it's going to match the stuff we have now. It's definitely going to happen, but it's going to be it's going to be a better product. It's going to be a product that you can make at the end of the day, and you don't have to worry about, getting scammed. Because I'm not going to sit there and tell you it's going to give you 100% black level. That's going to be a lie. I'm not going to tell you it's ambient light rejection, because that's a lie. I'm not going to tell you anything. Is it going to wash on fade? Yeah, it is. It's great paint. It's definitely going to do it. Is it matching into tones? Oh, yes, it will match tones. It will definitely match tones. And I'll make it and put it against my product and shit. At the end of the day, it's not going to match anything we have in here. It won't even work for 3D mapping. It's not going to work with any of the projectors in here. It's not going to work with anything. But at least at the end of the day, when you think about it, at least you're not paying for it. It's free. I'm not going to come up here with a high power and say, look at the... No, we're not doing any of that. I'm telling you just like it is. And if any one of these people, even the other fellow, wants to make the product, I guarantee it'll match. It'll match your product. You can get on camera, make 3 different versions of it, of the black. The blacks are called toners. You can put in 1, 2, and 3 and put that against your product and see what happens. And I guarantee you, just like I told you, the network grade is going to match. This stuff will match with no problem. But the reason why he won't do it is because he can't tamper with it. Now, see, if we were selling it, he could try to tamper with it because he knows that nobody else is going to know the ingredients but us. But if everybody knows the ingredients about what's in it, he can't touch it. He can't tamper with it. He can't mess with it. See? And therefore, he won't do the demonstration. I guarantee you, bar none. So if you won't do the demonstration, well, why pay 60 bucks or 90 bucks for a product when you can just make it yourself? And if they ever want to challenge our credibility, here's my credibility right here. My product was contracted. And here you guys are making the same product 10 years ago that we made, and you have no results like this. Where's that other whatchamacallit right there? Got one of those bottles of champagne too. I don't drink. I gave it to a friend of mine. We had our own keychains. These are Digital One keychains, promotional keychains. This is the room that they had. They had the investors in that were checking out the screens. They were bringing them in to check the screens out right here. These are some of our beta testers. We had some other beta testers that were doing demonstrations for us. More demonstrations on the Sky Blue Gold Edition. This is the logo because they're rebranding our logo. We had our own ink pens. These are some more demonstrations. These are not even 4K. This is a 1080p projector in the demonstration. There's more demonstrations right there. This was the 3.6 high def HD VR glasses with some of the package deals, because we're going to do package deals. Oh, this is one of my friends. This is TK. This is his setup right here on his projector. More demonstrations on our products right there. You can see our logo right there in the corner, right there. Boom. This is in the small room that I was renting. These are my screens. Let me see if we got anything else down here. Yep, that's another demonstration on the big screen they did in there. These are my setups in here. Oh, there's mine with the Silver Surfer display. I'm going to display that again on my Black technology. This is TK again. He did a screen for his kids. Monster Inc. This was a long time ago, people. These are the labels they designed for the company. Yep, there you go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up here and make the ingredients for this product. What we got down here? Because I want to be able to print this out too when I put everything up. So it's pretty easy. Let's go over here and let's get ourselves a notebook pad. A notebook pad, we need a fresh one. All right, I'm going to back this up a little bit. And it's basically very simple. All gray screen paints are all made the exact same way. Before the tones came out, they were all starting off with BEHR 1050. Make sure it's right. Let's see. We'll start off with 1 quart of, let me get this right, each. Get that right, BEHR? Yeah, BEHR. 1050. I like the 1050 because the 1050 has a really nice thick coat to it, On top of that, it's one coat application. Adds a very low odor and all that other good stuff, but that's what we used to use anyway. Can't use the Martha Stewart anymore because the Martha Stewart doesn't exist anymore. We used to use Martha Stewart, Better Livings, or whatever it's called, Metallica paints. Can't use it anymore because they don't. Martha Stewart went out of business. Anyway, they got out of business. It lost its contract with Home Depot, and that's where PPG came in. All right, so just make the basic because that's all you need. The basic 1/4 bear, 1050. We got 1/4. We'll talk the black. We'll do black measurements. Okay, so we got black. Put that together, bird. Okay, black toner, which means this is the tone that you're going to add to make your product on how dark you want it. Got one scoop. Should be scoop. Should get that spelled right. Scoop. Make sure I get that right. There we go.
All right, scoop around Coopersburg.
Scoop. All right, let me see. Oh, that's something else. Let me see. One scoop of flat black paint. Doesn't make a difference what kind, as long as it's black. That's one scoop, and you want to put in measuring cup of 1/4. I'm going to put this in the description so you know. Now, we know the naysayers get upset over this kind of stuff. First things first, mind your own business. Second thing, it's my ingredients. I can give it out if I want to. If it hurts your business in the day, then you're going to have to work harder to beat it. That's what you're going to have to do. You already got enough strikes against you. This is going to be another one for you. Let's see. And no, I'm not going to go through the freaking headache of buying. I'm not giving them any money to buy. No, we're not doing that. This is what we have right here. If he doesn't want to test it, that tells you from the door, automatically from the door. Those you already have the product, knock yourself out and find out for yourself. All right, so that's one. We have another one, that's two. So this is a range of how much black paint you want to put in. This is going to give you your different tones. As you saw, the tone that I pulled out, that's 3. That's as high as you want to go. And then you have 1/4, and you're going to have another one, and that is going to be 3. That's what we have in the room. I call that the mega mix. I like that one because, again, it has a good tone to it. To pick up the contrast and colors. Now, keep in mind, we are going to paint it and put it against our screen because, again, we don't want people thinking that, okay, we gave you a free product. Again, this shows you at the end of the day that if I was so intimidated by gray screen paint products, why would I be giving them away for free? I already know from the door that we give these away for free, and we've done this before. They don't touch it. Customers we deal with don't touch this stuff. They don't even go near it because they know at the end of the day that the products that we have are far better. So the only people that are really going to go near this at the end of the day are pretty much people who buy gray paints. His fan base. Those are the ones that are going to go near it because they're going to think $60 or free. I'm going to go with free at the end of the day. And this is cheaper to make than $60. Way cheaper to make. So you make a gallon of this at that. So they're not going to touch it, your product. And for him to be able to control the forest fire, whatever you want to call it at the end of the day, he has to show that he can beat the product. That's what he's going to do. See, it's the same thing we did with the whole Noor nonsense and him trying to make our products. Man, go ahead and make it. What did I do? I went out and I made the product. No, I went and made it. Actually, I made a better version of it because he couldn't get the black right for some reason. And what happened? We beat it. We beat it twice. Then we turned around and made the Noor. Beat the Noor and then turned around and made 3 other screen paints out of it and beat those 2. That's pretty embarrassing. We actually had that. We showed that to people at the end of the day. We let people make our products and that's how they fail. This strengthens our contracts. So now, this is what you guys are going to have to deal with. Now, as for Danny's product, well, Danny's product is done. It's a done product. It's done. It's not going to sell. And I'll tell you why it's not going to sell. He has some serious flaws in his product. One of the serious flaws he has is a rear projection issue. That's what he has. He literally labeled his product as front and rear, and he says it's not ultra short throw compatible, which is extremely bad because, again, ultra short throws are required for rear projection. There's no way in the world, and again, this is basic common sense, you're going to take a short throw at 6 feet or 4 feet from the screen. That thing's going to sit in your living room at 4 feet away from the wall. And that's going to look very, very tacky. And on top of that, it's going to look like crap. Your kid's going to be running back and forth, casting shadows back and forth on your screen. If we did it at ultra short throw, at least with the Optima GT55, he would be 3 inches and 3 feet and 3 inches from the screen. What was it? No, is it Optima? Yeah, it's the Optima GT55. If you went with the P2 is even shorter. It'd be like 2 something, 2 feet 2 inches. That's it. So when he did that, he messed up badly. I don't know if he even thought that one through. So you can't use it for that application. And if he's going to use it for window application, again, ultra short throw again is required. Because again, there's not a lot of room in there in a window space at all, period. And they don't want the projector mounted way outside into the showroom area. So you're going to have to be ultra short throw compatible. Another problem, range gain. No one knows what the freak that stuff is. I put it on several forum sites. I got a bunch of question marks popped like, what the freak is this? Can't get 2 different gains from the same paint depending on how you paint it. That doesn't make any sense. Another problem that popped up, a guy called Solid Wave 5 did a review on his product and it didn't even come up to color. He shook the can up viciously and it was still the same color as what before he painted the screen. Nothing changed. Those are some serious problems. So again, no one's going to touch it. But and that's why if you notice that he had gray paints at one point. When we started talking about the tones, he switched out all his gray paints, got rid of every last one and went into darker products because he figured he'd be untouchable in that section. Well, the problem is you don't have any testing on your product, and black technology is extremely temperamental and you have to get those tests right or all kinds of problems could pop up. I know that. I have experience. I've been doing this longer than he has. So the problems we've already seen already on the specification sheet and issues and lies coming up already, it already tells already from the door I wouldn't touch that stuff with a 10-foot pole. We're not even wasting time to paint it down, even though it's a headache and it has some really crazy instructions attached to it. I still wouldn't waste the time. But this right here for this individual makes these great products. Well, this is going to be a headache for him. All right, we got because he's going to have to try to beat this. Even your loyal fans at the end of the day, let me explain something to you, are not going to walk away from free. They're not going to walk away from free. And if you sit there and say at the end of the day, oh, he has no experience, I was here before you. You copied all my demonstrations. Everything you're doing, I did it already. And got contracted for it, which you never got. Show me one site where your stuff is advertised or a company went in and basically invested time and money, showrooms and show me investors and all that. Show me something. You can't show me any of that because you never got that. I got it. So that shows you where my product was at compared to yours. So yes, your customers will come and get the free product. Okay, so this is where it's going to be at. I am going to post it to the Crystal Edge technology page. It'll be there. It won't be on the blacklist. It'll be on the front page. That's where we're going to have it at for the free product ingredients. Like I said, there right there you have, these are your black toners on depending on how dark you want it. We shows you what 3 looks like, and you want to go with a quart of BEHR 1050. That's what you want to go with. If you're doing a gallon of this, remember, a gallon, you're going to multiply anything by 4 if you do it. You put in 1 scoop, you want to make a gallon, you put in 4 scoops of it. That's how you do it. That's how you break it down. That's how easy it is. And that's it. That's all you need, and you're done. All right, people, with that being said, I am going to be posting this because I already know it's on the back, it's in my head. I'll post this directly to the video right here so you can see it. And I'll put the link for the Digital1crystal screen paint over in Europe, and also to some of our first demonstrations when we first started making gray screen paint products. All right, enjoy. Gotta go, and God bless. Oh, again, I have to say this one thing too. Again, gentlemen, let me explain something to you really quick. Not to you guys, this is just for the naysayers. If I thought your product was a threat, I would have never given up these ingredients to begin with. That's why we consider your product not a threat. I can give away free great paint. And at the end of the day, not only give away great paint, no, at the end of the day, you will never ever do any side-by-side demonstrations in fear that you will match this product and everybody will know what's in the ingredients. There you go. That's how you fix someone's wagon at the end of the day. All right, people, gotta go and God bless.